Hello guys, welcome back to my channel to a fresh new video. And in this video we'll be covering a bind method. So this is a part 2 of event handling in React video, and as the previous video was getting a bit longer, so I've divided the video into 2 parts to don't make it too long for you guys. So I have already created a file here which is class PreventDefault, and I have imported it inside the index.js file here. So we'll be creating a class-based component here by just typing RCC by the use of that extension only, which I talked to you about in the previous video. So here we'll be creating class-based component, and let's copy some of the code from our previous videos. And so guys, if you want all the code available, then mention it in the comment section. I'll be providing all this code on one of my GitHub repo, so from there you can access it, and if you have any error then you can recheck from there. So if you want the code, do mention it in the comment section down below. I'll be providing you with that. So for understanding the bind keyword, we'll be not using the arrow key function way, because the arrow function by default provides you the access to this keyword. So we do not want that. We want to understand that how to get access to this keyword without arrow function. So here you have to create one constructor, and inside of that constructor mention this super keyword, which gives us access to the constructor of the main class component. So here we have to write simply this dot and this, and then you have to mention the function name which you want to bind this keyword to, and then you simply have to write this dot handle submit, your function name again, and dot bind. So bind is a method which binds whatever you mention in these brackets. Like here we have mentioned this keyword, so it will bind this to this specific function which you have mentioned here. So as simple as that, and let's save it. Let me do, yeah, so here's one error. You have to mention this dot handle submit here, because in class component you cannot access the methods directly. You have to access it through this keyword only. So first of all, let me uncomment this and show you what we are handling by this bind method here. So let me save it and let's check that. Yeah, so as you can see here, whenever I click on it, it's redirecting. First of all, let me prevent the default. Yeah, so we do not move again and again towards that. So here whenever I click, so here instead of displaying the whole this object, it is saying me undefined. So it's the scope of this object is not defined inside of this function. It simply says that. So if I want the scope of this keyword inside of this function also, then I have to write this line, and I have to bind this keyword to this specific function. So you just simply have to write this dot function name is equals to this dot function name dot bind, and inside of the brackets you have to mention this keyword. Simple. So let me save it, and now let's run it again and click it, and as you can see here, it is giving me access to the whole this object, and it is displaying that whole this object here. So this way you can access this object inside of any method inside class component. So this way you can use this keyword inside of any method inside class component. So let me also show you that arrow function by default provides you access to this keyword. Let's remove this and save it and run it again. So whenever I click on the button, it shows me the whole this object without even binding this to that specific method. As you saw here, I have commented this, and it's still showing me that this object, this full object. So now let's pass some props to the class-based components. In function-based components, we simply did we were writing here props, and then we were receiving all the props just like that. So here what we have to do is we have to mention props keyword here in the constructor, and you also have to mention that props inside of this super keyword also. So let me save it and let me pass some props. We are receiving the props, but what's the meaning if we are not passing any props? So it's SRP pixels here. Let me save that. And inside here, first let's declare a state here. That state will simply name, which will be initially set to Savan, which is my name. And so now what we want to do is whenever this on click is done to the anchor tag, I want to change the state of this name to the name which is provided by me through the props. So through the props I am getting provided SRP pixels, and initially the name is set as Savan. So I want to just set the state here. So what I'll do here is I'll first of all console log here what is, let's say, this dot state dot name. Okay, and then here let's remove this and type hello. So let's say hello to the user, and here I'll be setting the state which is this dot state, and here let's set the state of name to what we want to say. We can use the props with this keyword only. So this dot props dot name. So we want to set the state of the name which is mentioned here to the value of a props name which is being provided to us from index.js. Okay, let me change this name which is props name. Okay, so it will make you understand better. Let me copy that, otherwise I'll make a typo again. Command C, and let's paste it here. I guess it's okay. Yeah, so as you can see here, I am setting the props name to the simple name which is our state. So let's save it and run it here. Whenever I click here, first of all it's Savan here, and after setting the state it's changed to SRP pixels. So as I am console logging it before setting the state, let me remove it from here, and we'll be displaying that here in one h1 tag, which simply will say this dot state dot name. Cool. And let's check it here. Right now it's Savan, and after pressing the button anchor tag, it simply changes to SRP pixels, which is the name provided by us from the props. So in this video we went through the understanding of how to bind this keyword to any function in class-based components if you are not using arrow function. But I would suggest you to use the arrow function, because it will by default give you the access to this keyword, and you do not have to go to the tedious process of binding and all that. So, and if you want to access the props in class-based components, you just simply have to mention it inside of the constructor and super keyword, and then you can access it. The use of props is, if you are having a form or any sort of that sort, then whenever from backend you are getting a data, and you are getting the data in form of props, then you can change the value of that name or any of the data by just setting the state to the value of that props. So yeah, that was the use case of this particular example. So that was all guys for the second part of event handling in React.js. So I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please like the video and do share your views in the comment section down below. See you guys in the next one.